na mare holding na ye me di na wotwe se na ne na wotwe da nsuo ne yeye no ti nipa ewu wo ma prepra wo ma yare biguso a me di ohwa popo awre ho pa se pa se mi wotumi a ka me declare
a
state of mourning amasafo no kra titiru mani nkwade wo mu nsem ne ba ne se ne ya kan sa ya num de etimi huri fence wall so utie aku account o man ya oba bia ne obenya akokoduro tu sa na mo na no otu no na osan kan sembi o se ba bi e free kiosk estate enti safo ne de nsuo no twi wo mu sa na duo makọ enti untimi identify mpo 1995 Fourth Republican Ghana na making men kobechi kra
July
4th
Mikaipa
ye nyina hu Jerry John Rawlings sabre the president of the republic no nam nsuom na nsuo yiri nkran
e wa
alajo ba ya bedu near way June 3rd day
from 95 and the next big one was June 3rd.
The June 3rd
2015.
Ay Jabeka 2015. Ba na ba ko bi so bai na Professor Mills Tiasi no na president. Omo ye de ko tena akoduo.
But I need to say June 3rd.
I need to say June again. But the significance is say the president then na ote kuduo. Ana ye harness.
In fact, under President Kufuor ebi but then yet this bad. But ebi I'm a President Kufuor try helicopter musa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ana under another Danko Kufuor. Ebi si. Yes sir.
Yeah.
And then ya recorded the mother of all
of them, yeah.
According to Ako. You are right. Se flood BNC say that.
There we.
Ana
me sure. In fact, you share a measurements about you see between 140 and 170 millimeters of water.
And the
na
the eje en kwa kakra and he said you na ntowo region kwapem region said you kan because I don't
see where towo
yeah yes can you flow no by
wow
yes okay you're serious na ni nyina no esese akasa aban no na enya na president no ho na enya na
Debbie, why should it president as
that is the good thing
but this force majeure
enunti denti na bribi twemu na anu ye 2024 just 2024 president always is in opposition e kama nipa nyina ati asofote prof TV mun central for mote papa mun kremo forte yen a lawyer for ye TV mamu ane mrantie ti se akoga no TV sa president obi a obepe president edi wadi president pen na all records any information be national security disaster management eniema ni adi nyina owo every opportunity say onim ni nyina about 2 minti o decide say obeba so low amani pa hu ni say aban no ho nti ana nsuo kura anto na se nsuo po beto 15 minutes kura na yira fankra nyina na aban ne nye na ye nyina aye kom ne ye nyina aye mfe ha na ya ye kom ne ya je adi ne ya mene up to this point
bra Kwame
oh akọ kasa na mwa that you don't have that
please name na friend me say me
sanko
na me treat me
security we
osiko
ako say o tetrin na na me treat me na o kwatwi me afi se me mra na we afi se me go
me wo part na ye nyina ye hwe ha na ye tie sama general on the 14th November also well we sister station back on Joy omo organize debate ema MPP NDC on this particular niema ye ka ho assemini eno no under wash your water and sanitation and hygiene
water and sanitation and hygiene
wash me na me represent NPP me colleague or EPACC or CEO
Professor Cliche
ono no represent NDC
Nana Mabran Cliche
yes me ni no
send him mo mudiuma
yes enti semwa ye di gudwa babia the MPP representing MPP Kwabena Kukufu ekaye ene niema ye di gudwa ne ade ene ne a mawura ba no so ene we see also can on behalf of NDC ni nyina ade now I do
I hope so it was devoid of politics
yes me politics
because mutu ni nyina professionals inti
yes but many politics there enti well oh na my politics are come enti ye nyina your professionals and ye nyina represent your political parties
okay
and then at that stage party na wo abemu no sajumedi e de tu dwa no die na wa ya afa ho na die na wo se anya tumi a obetumi asan ya afa ho
okay
wo nsusu afi na wo opra ba abemu e die na wo betumi aye afa ho se nyame boa na aba abemu sana mpese msituate no enti anya political ai eye say ye gi mandate free Ghana for enti the social contract the here sa organizers in say eba nsuo eba ahunidie eba they say yes sanitation any wira nsisa anim ne ade any flooding nyina edie na wo party wa ba mu mayo na se munya kwan kura san ba bie wa mu betimi asan awe beboa yen wo so a wo pe kwan aba no die nhihye be na wo homa so we did all that na me can we because honorable Samuel Oku akasa of parliament oyi niema bia di guabonten yewura kodwo oponkrom honorable ono lawyer ono suso akasa fa we no na no na me wokuma ase na metie ni na MPP for kra de sa information we nyina ho dadaada manka na mo communication mo ya de no kra mo nka ene ad in part I agree with Nipanibi but as far back as November 2024 me gina new patriotic party anim I can the same semi na me nim se we besi but me kan niema aban na ye ne hihye ne ade a ode agu akwam a oyeko de ma wure hokura ne se wo fa sa garage project ya ye ken ye nkran ha ye hwehwe kwan be fa so because ye na ye strictly under Ministry of Works and Housing
yeah
EPA na ye ni twaka kesi bia wo but because ye war over site responsibility you know na me very much interested and da me tie the then candidate and President Mahama na all can say abay o koji sika wo World Bank sika 350 million na o ma bedi o ma fa anyahwe adan me yam sheme because me nim adwuma no ne pempen so ne ne na ekwaku ene no kura be daddy say adwuma no kosoa koduru pempenso bi a ye di free abemu now almost about 250 million or so dollars of sika no aben yi betoi na mom finance minister ni sika semo a so ohwe ni yi so ye ni den so miemia so ye den ana amadwumade na tia koda ana ankosoa beduru na me no kasai eti sika ne da ho
according to the World Bank sika ne da ho ana adwuma no na aban no so agya yagu ho ana wanye na onto aso enna ya hu dia ye hu enti obisa say Kwame bisa question we say who to blame me say now who cause some now wetin we go do
we all cause some we all cause some na ya chichemu a leadership attitudinal and then engineering
engineering
ubisa bi no ma omuso ya kandifo na emomodene ana omunya de sefata ye hyewe eno no ho afi attitude ye nipa na ewo man yesu ne eban ya nam ntuo bi a yetu a enye nansem fata afi engineering no kopem se so tie profa wa engineer no what engineer
no
yes of course Chama General engineering enya ne kasia ne nade egu no kon ho ene mfidi odi abesisi ho o say onsuo na betai eba betai ne wall na chi enti where na no share Wellington boots na akɔhwɛ prof ne Wellington boots na okuta spade sana okuta spade ane aso shovel ya nsa ma mehwe se de na wo ye no una yi course etu yi wie na nsuo no ana be flow ko engineer
mama me we no mama body grata na
what you said that is it enti engineering if you say nia ye nim say ye be ye no buku ne ho ma kire ye dada ana afefie nyansa adwene da ye tirimu eno so a kire ye obo ade de adom ye dada eya ne ka irrigation koyefu mu kohe abakrom reda ne ajabam no oyi ko ayinchesi ya ne nsuo na eba ne land no so nyaza ne no enti engineering yenim pefe ye what town and country planning or almost all the this after they too din special and one
planning
na baby a ense say ye do ye see that honey see I go ka wetlands the most piteous ecosystem ye Ghana ha ye di ho afro ye hunu afro say asase a enye na wo sika nko ade a obetimi ato afro no na wa ye de ope ha block eniema bebre
anya we na record koye ya mutuma no sin so
enya we bi na ayi regional minister na anu so akoye bi na akụ ka ho asem
enya Henry Kwame under MPP
okoye
bi
menye wa chijo
obezo hu se bisusi
ana MPP for na akaseti ano
akiyare ne nam
ana nansenya greater crime minister first Akwele ono so akoye bi ni party for na race ni so
eti
because enu na honorable kokofu pese utim wo ho no enya ne de no
me di fi Henry Kwame
so
prof it won't politicians no
eti say leaders eti ono no on kwad and tie ye ni say say Henry de oye no na re wo ko pe be bitina
din
regional minister we de tie ye ni say ya man award
ne ba na nsu no toy
award ni ba ya award ni nsu na na eba nti adwuma na aye so aye adwuma pa ho award eno no na engineering attitudinal change and leadership engineering they basically war institutions your man institutions no kwan mo nya adwuma aseso mo ye because ye ni pa na war man ni your attitude so your businessman or your sofo or your wine na attitude some general wouldn't say na men ka brofo kakrewe the utilization of wetlands say ye dey at afrom ye di dwumansi adan when him say group of people be na amana theater sepa sorry yes sorry ahodo
omba block nsuo no
the big say omu pe asori asase asidan
so ma block
ti bro no kro na open one asase no boarding two nia eya afrom na obia ni ho no obia amfa nya hwe no da ho tetrete enti okoho no obenya no fu no obese nya bi kura san kan ya oto no
nti na assemblies way
that is the
and asane akokan na hemfo asase ne wom de no mo way
that's the leadership
chese kakra mbi die nti
leadership enti leadership no nya me ameye MP nku na meye president nku at all levels hemfo win assemblies wenum ana yenyina ka bom ana amana ko wiese now solution is science and data information is available there aka any policy makers me na me ka ho bi se me ka ho bi a kire no me ba be ka ho ayi president Bawumia be policy and no falls on abaya wo ho anya aban we nku aban bia waba na wobeba na failure bia course bia no wo policies yen scrutinize aban bia wabesini ko bia the policies ne emagina aban a waba ne policies towards saade we ne ehwe nti a systemic failure eno na chi no action anamontuo again prof okoye okohunu se ade ne betimi aha no otu anamon osum nyame pa o nyame ni papa ana oda mpanifo ano won a onfie kwa animu ano ana odi dwuma no e prof o obedru prof na bra wa bre no enti ko be decide say me wo gina bre enti me ntram ba be nwene me ho nsuo no na mo me nkobu nkotodwe na me mompa ye nsire nyame zam o man nsuo ne mam fie ha wa nya sa otu anamon no de nsa ene na adwene egie dwumadie action. And we need the science and data and information no academia researchers and no one are available now. Yes, I feel no more quiet. Now I feel policy. Oh, ba bear moon also when she said dear now bear. Cecilia me no say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, flag bearer of New Patriotic Party. Why your policy committees? May a part of committee a environment and the natural resources. Make a committee a ehwe sanitation, water sanitation, flooding near the Mekahubi. Now, Esan se minye leader of any of the committees in Timin Kasama committee no. Ewa, until you make a bia mekan near minim margin and on a professional point of view. Chese, we need that. Until back to where you are now, we are Mississippi. Information I'm a demand one. Osu Castle, no way.
Osu Castle, Nkrumah Mausoleum, Black Star Square.
Nina abeko.
Abeko hin.
Bisa say Ocean Commander.
Na me Benjamin
Entemeba. Eno no kra no ebeko sa kwatra. Eye science ni information data ni bia.
Okofu unam na yo.
Professor Kwesi Apianimado.
Okay.
Now, Oye Bribi Atwem no a director of Institute of Environment Sanitation Studies. Lagos, University of Ghana. In fact, maybe Professor Chris Gordon one.
Okay.
Professor Chris Gordon also supervising me PhD work.
Oh, okay.
Sana Professor Kwesi Ado. No crowd you nyakwa be EPA board chairman.
Professor Kwesi Ado.
Or no, we one of the leading oceanographers.
I see.
Oh, Africa. Sana Professor Chris Gordon so and the sanitation honiama. Until the inaugural my friends inaugural lectures. Mfifimu awaye ana odida na die. Ntimi what the food test ho. Ana odida na die. Na some kan say climate change, wiemu sachrai global warming. Senia dia gencheche wo wiase na wiemu ya hyehyehye na nam so na melt ice block sana ya na nkofo beti ase ice block ese what the polar na no na nsuo ne man na nsuo so to bribri ne enya no poma sibre ne enya na nuye na ye nipa ye ne bibia channels ni ade ho yasisi no ani gotan mire bi beba the tidal waves nsuo na if what posoba no professor ko kan say bi uzi nsuo we na toye no na free yes sea breeze free pono so da ba enti mire bi beba ebeba no sa na sorochi bebo kesi pi na bope ebe mene sa coastal line ni ade ni nyina akọ
okay but so say 50 years
na ga zema
na mini ha
na
mini ha
no eja ma
50 years from now na go for now 50 years from now
Kwame bagi no 2 years they be do no 52 years o grandchild now 1 year be do no 51
they'll have to deal with it
now they come baby
they'll have to
say no akọ
me say no
that is where our responsibility comes
me say because o kan nyina no Oka Professor Gordon there no dey we na me person me dey find another professor ho ma dey we
Professor Chris Gordon so yeah na we ne sa no ya ye we na we no Okwampoano ne as we speak today. Joy News so ye documentary bi omu feature me no feature professor. Sisi ya me no tu kan ne kwa. Nkrofo aye busy omu sa anwea no mpoano anwea no. Omu koton. Omu koton.
Yes.
Me to come my office me ni me team call as far as Volta region Keta basin ho. Eno de ahemrache omu ni immigration officers no. Bi onso omu de doji wo mu. Abobo ya omu lodo ne mom koton no Togo omu de ji safer. Na awrahusime wo mu ne se Togo fo ne to nwea no ne ade a na wo mu na hwe agu wo mu no po na no. Awrahusime wo mu no.
Cheto mu de mo ahunyansa.
Oh God of mercy. Bapa busa average Ghanaian say average Ghanaian any Togo average Togolese one nim nyansa obeto de wakache. Kasi eni nim nyansa pa because you betumi asesa ya nwea na de akọ na akọji sefa na omu no nsusu de agu omu enti sa na ma we nyina na prof ne kan nyina bom ana information available the data scientific data proven data suggest niama huhu we no nyina enti say yes ye betimi pa ye ne abre se o man a ese ye make good use of data information. As I say, you make good use of policies ben ya de best idea ya koye inti ebe plan binum de na so yemfa adwene to ho ne ya ni pankasa sa sisi demolition ya yen over the years kam ye bubu wie na no ne ya gya no ho inti the solid concrete no solid na debris no anase wira na ya gya no ho no eno akra enough say no so ebe block because wo ye policy ben for ecosystem reclamation. A honey afro, and a nipan beto no afele, and was say a hono, and in soon a YouTube bubu. As I saw restore no corner fronum. So why mohoka and Triana Moans Sanya Manin free ho, na afro na, unyame born no said the tiano, and sign and regenerating ama. Why unya she? And unto Kosakumona. You get a place be EPA ye kwa adopt to her and you dear kube no near dear be pre or sebe a very store baby near bubu dan near dear
kube no good for
very much until kube a travel well or coastal line right. It's just a restore the original ecosystem no sa ramsa site ya say ni na and no ma migratory birds and ba be ye niema ne ade nyina omu mabio ana ye dia an say we are counting our monies. Now what you said now we are counting dead bodies. Ye nwie ye e wo man. So be say nipa 18 ewu ye and I challenge them on what basis they all do any hu. They are worship ko how are we going to be able to?
Talking about the environment, na me ka say me koka professor bi ho asem.
Yes.
Ghanaian Times front page. Stop building on hills now. Unchecked construction risks environmental disaster. Professor Oting Abebio.
May see on hills.
Yeah, yeah. Now
what's the science?
Good, Meba. Sorry, no page 12.
Okay.
Page 12 Ghanaian Times. Me kind of bofuka krebi. Stephanie Brickrang ended this story in Brian. Okay. A senior urban planning expert, Professor Martin Oting Abebio.
Binipa.
Minim ne papa.
Masa.
Wa bin se bosom.
Masa
has urged the government to place an immediate ban on unplanned and uncontrolled residential development on hilltops. He warned that the country is sitting on a time bomb waiting to detonate soon. If it was science neighbor. He explained that the indiscriminate clearing of vegetation on hills for housing was exposing communities to mud flows, landslides, and severe erosion, particularly as rainfall intensifies. According to him, such practices are steadily creating the conditions for a major environmental disaster.
Wow.
After Otwaso, Professor Oting Abebio cautioned that continued development on hills such as Eburi, Botiano, and McCarthy without proper planning posed a serious threat.
Wow.
He cautioned that the removal of vegetation leaves topsoil vulnerable to erosion. And with increasing rainfall, entire communities could be wiped away by mud flows, landslides, or avalanches. Osanso a board chair Forest Plantation Development Fund. Just on the edge, na okeka semi also for Malam Kaswa Accra Cape Coast Highway near Honsem. Ama wasanka mud flow bio amajofe or water region. Se also yenhwe ye. Also yenhwe ye a landslides no betimi occur alongside an earthquake.
Yeah.
Where the Sabio onu nenim na adwuma kokofu ebusuafo ni bi.
Chairman General.
Yes sir.
Information here pa me de ayi bia send you sisi a me interview bi. Na to say the all can abri ayi no. As apart from there all kind of cry no. Prof.
Yeah.
Ayi na wo ho no. The ehunu mountain no. Unfortunately, enye granite.
Okay.
Eye sedimentary rocks.
Okay.
Enti ahyehyɛ. Ahyehyɛ. Na vegetation na wo so no. Enuane ade na wo so no. Ni hine ni wurawura mu. Ana peki nuane. Enti ni hine no accurate divisions wom. Just enka mom enye fua. Enti se bibi kakra pressure bi koso kakra bia ebeyi ebedwi. And when you apart from science ya ye ken na eye yanim sem andaje ekufo aburi kwan na nti sei na ya fia bi edwiri begu na si kwan no eye je ekufo aban ana nya kokodro yes a massive infrastructure
I mean kokofu no Kwame say ofra aburi for the past 2-3 years so let me tell you so me too every girls Oba say even sections be or what? No, if you see,
the net to crack
exactly. So you were right on that.
Yes. And you see what they fail to also add. They say, yeah, the net no go on. The intention they say, you be prevent the anya.
Yes.
Ebe gum.
Yeah.
Near dry grass.
Yes.
Also. So na grass ni roots no. Will keep it in place. Yeah. But anonym to me and still no crano.
There is a woman
building on that place is dangerous.
Chairman General, maybe on me sure say be out or about mid 70s to 80s. Madam Angela Osu.
Madam Angela
Osu or Makati Hill. Not about office power, environmentalist.
Okay.
I mean you know you can be an environmentalist. Now, so you're environmental scientist.
Okay.
But you can be environmental scientist automatically.
Yeah, environmentalist. Yeah.
Right.
Eti environmentalist. Now, senior body about brand in your mahunia mammy no. Eti otuka no aba obayipi no the complaints aba.
Akwese na Najuma Sapon.
Yes, Najuma Sapon. Na mo achira no pay. No the complain aba no no achire say we be. Me official trip to Wager. My name is Sunday. Yeah, Wager. Da. Na time I see na pepe spillage in sea war akosobo. So with now can I be? My name say what do general there. No sign me lecturer. I was Ghana Armed Forces.
Okay.
Command and Staff College.
Your friend is saying?
Banata.
Batamana.
Batabana.
Yeah, or Brigadier General.
Brigadier General.
So, Brigadier General.
Ah, congratulations.
Batabana.
Mr. Rafa number mami.
Martin.
He was always in my office. Now, because they a course na MSc in Defense and International Politics. So, who profile national security architecture now? Environmental disaster. Deep.
I see.
Very, very deep. Environmental disaster, infraction. Now they see last week a national security issue. And nothing I invite soldier for no money a dear woman.
No, very much.
Yes, national security issue because displacement, way loss of businesses, way a famous bunu ahuchire beba. Nipa bi anse ni adwuma ye adwena no chire no bibi different. Afe ye be konsa ase ho na me dia na way enti Brigadier General then Colonel
Pacho, or a major general.
Major general.
Major.
Wow.
A major general.
Very brilliant gentleman. Very, very articulate. Eti, this Ghana Water. Now, in my with me, Ghana Water. Etuanamo akokot. So when sisi adarin wo, sa omo enclave we encroaching nyina no. Omo kroma akokot. Omo ba be demolish. Na sabre no Major General na o lady say you know. Now the kind of frustrations one sisi adan prominent people, lawyers, engineers, academia, judges. Ana omu na aye encroachment ni enti omu de Ghana Water court ana court nso de injunction ato Ghana Water enti untimi ntu obia wo wager around that area untimi ana omu di mirika na ombe dwan to ame wo EPA omba na si asemaba ni EPA lawyer metehu Act 490 of 1994 emrani nesina aka by Ben day, Musor Mianco, then we went. Imagine now, I feel now I just said, who should see no, now we should be a new party. And I told me, catch you, say, and maybe Babano, Mubesua for our buying.
But that's what is happening.
Yes. And to that, me say, wager, a submerged. Eti, ne papa mua, mumo modern, no move, no more call uphill. Kakra man you investment no because a dani dura investment no untimi fancy obotomu nko e be say imagine now him say e no kan ho bi na inform me a share yen dem ye new law for EPA no enemre o sisi a EP Act Act 1124 2025 President Akufo-Addo sign into law 5th January 2025 imagine sa law no aban yi nya akukuduro now what say EPA for then? Now what ma all the necessary supporter. Some random kwa between us solve environmental problem. With him.
So the laws are there, kind enforcement.
The law is there. Now
Ako at the end I'll see here Bruno. You see a friend a Gabion basket.
Gabion basket.
Is it Gabion or Gabion? GABION.
yes.
Many are paying Kweku and they send me from UK. Kweku me ask, I say a friend, is it Gabion or Gabion? But I say Gabion baskets.
But said it to be a basket.
Gabion, you baby a basket.
Basket. Yeah, they are the papas. Enti, Chama General.
Yes.
Emrana also say no. My EPA to me, ama to say we just my ken.
Okay, Gabion. Gabion basket.
Okay.
Yo.
Manu to me mani kochire Ghana Water company. Adena Ghana Water wo property no jurisdiction. Na watina ho amankro it me EPA my arrest to do kokko.
But say no. Assembly wo.
And I make EPA would then arrest assembly.
To me,
why? Oh, the new law. As my making that is the new law.
Who EPA boss?
Yes.
Tisha say Professor Brown Kluchi.
Yes.
On President Mahama na appointed.
Yes.
MC or host President Mahama appointed. Now, inti Nana Brown Kluchi. Okachere why?
Ahanti na was my guy want to mass. Me say, Sabani in Yakukudro.
Akukudro the bed.
Na ya share. Ejuma kuno. A
bedding.
Eti your problem no comes. So your problem comes back to leadership. The problem comes back to leadership. You to me bite. Eti me chira say mrano wo ho. Ye benya kukoduro no. Ne de aye adwuma.
Another matter for another day.
Policy na edi gu akwan mu no. Sisi papa na ye de no soja ni pani ne your friends say.
Brigadier General.
Okay,
yeah.
Also obey we shall leave no stone
unturned.
Ana akuti asisi a osi obesere ne ya almost stone ni bi grofo na na
and 10 more stones.
And 10 more stones. Yes, I know. And he is calling for mitigation. He's calling for
no mitigation.
Now call for the
but one kasa they must go and admit said they are the cause of it. So they must even be prepared to take action. And sometimes when people are not involved in action, they see it as an external force.
Oh, Debbie.
What you are saying? But
baby, I agree. Ye nyina anim. oti ho na nsuo yiri fa no no and ohunu ye
eno na meka no
ana president say soja penny be sen koye adwuma no adwuma na okoye wo ye ma hyehye o ne say there will be a backlash na enya wonko aban bia wo want to see say because afeni e ba beba na mu hu nipa mobo na me pension pay na me dey sit down
human face
eno na wo kan it is see ano akaka krea bi politicians like him at the pressure be ko papa na adwuma ye so say and they jaw mu no mu bro pen no mayi no mo ko say no na wo kan this situation as
that's not what I'm addressing
no but
okay
what can me cause you are wrong because pressure the baba also maybe a politician pressure the baba so ana say me there's
a level of pressure say we allow man also
untie say me Abraham ti opposition me decide say me ko tangent ya na mo wo opposition na mo ye no na ne president no ye mo opposition leader no onu ankasa gina mu no ode ye politics na o ma amanfo ahunu say aban no nyanye papa na aban no emmoa o man no sisi ya me kasa me ye ne saa emmoa madwum anamo amutu no enti finally chama general we need to have a national discourse,
national conversation with people who know better,
national conversation.
Like Henry Kobna Kokofu, Professor Otin Abebio, Professor Brown Kluchi, amongst others. Omo munim na omo political colors run tonchen na yindi san komono.
Into an amopa. I beboa man.
Mami kwa nim na asa me kwa nim no Professor Osafo du we de wo mere wa na ba ko. Mrs. Teresa Adams.
Okay.
Former head teacher at Yellow Duck School in Tesano. 1st July, 5 days ago.
Okay.
And I would pa.
Wow.
Mrs. Teresa Adams. Belated birthday wishes to you, former head teacher, Yellow Duck School in Tesano. Okay. 1st July, Enonya 99.
Wow. 99 years.
99.
Hey, where the card now? 100.
80.
Wow, mama.
Aka another 1 year. Nyame be adom. Na we nyana 100 years pepe. And Linda Osei Abuajo de oya baba who CBG was Seshia Siren so. Linda Osei Abuaji CBG Seshia Siren so. Birthday blessings to you from fantastic Wilberforce. Talking about wager, ask Dr. Kokofu about the cement factory near Pambro salt mining.
Okay.
How do we allow cement factory near food we eat? This is a part of our problem. Odisha Jabing in Hachu says, we all know the problems and what is wrong with us. We only talk without solutions, only playing the usual blame game. Well, Kokofu has provided a lot of solutions this morning and has also told us collaboration with others. Omunim ejumano bebwa papa. Tell Kokofu not to be pessimistic but optimistic that President Mahama will address the flooding challenge effectively. People who are overly pessimistic often lack patriotism. President Mahama has shown enough willingness to address the issue. That is Musa Abattoir in Aswase. Yo Musa, yati. Until we all come to understand that the environment is a super sector that impacts and is impacted by all other sectors, will continue to suffer. Sadly, when we wanted the EPA to be an authority and to be a final authority to coordinate and supervise all environmental matters, there was stiff resistance.
Yes.
We must implement the new EPA Act in full.
Yeah.
Dr. Mafo, former MP.
Oh.
Dr. Emmanuel Mafo.
He was the chairman of the select committee in Parliament.
Oh, I see.
And on any group, NDC ranking member was Honorable Oklite. Oklite.
Okay.
Yes, and now a deputy minister.
Deputy minister.
They were,
okay. Yeah.
Interior.
Bibi Labi.
Yeah.
Tel
Aviv.
Yeah. The committee was so much helpful.
Okay.
Papa na heavy resistance from within. I see them in tears.
Within as in what? Government of the day?
The government then. Near army government.
Wow.
Yes. And Dr. Mafu and Co had to fight. My sector minister then, Dr. Kokwe Free, boss Memo Pay, he suffered a lot.
Just to get it into an authority.
That's the point. And to make EPA the overriding and overwhelming, because EPA, and that is the world standard, international standard. best practices. Thank God President Akufo-Addo did the NSC form to get, and one of the best legacies are where Jama Omen. They be make us 2 laws. Sabe be a bebania de Bay EPA Act no, Anna Act 1039 of 2020, Public-Private Partnership Act.
Conversations continue. Chairman General, I think this flood problem is a national security issue. However, to be unacquainted with history is to forever remain a child. Ask Akogan. Will it be appropriate for President Mahama to apologize to Ghanaians when he said the flooding in Accra was not an engineering problem, but as a result of bad governance? Secondly, I think we should not only be looking at demolishing buildings as a solution to the flooding. If we don't stop Galamsey, which has destroyed our forest cover, and soil protection, which serves as water management by soaking up rainwater and reducing flooding, the problem may persist. Sasa, NAD, and no ebai. Just say, yeah, now you're the political crowd about FM. Then you're bending. Say, many politicians in the aiding come on. Now, this one says, Accra is a low-lying place.
Yeah.
It receives water from the Equiapim Hills.
Yeah.
We've caused the flooding because of human activity, including building on waterways and dumping of refuse into drains. Until we put in place measures to prevent these things from happening, Garrett will simply be a waste of resources. Eric Amponsa Boateng, tax expert, now talking water.
What it means?
Yeah.
Jowulu, what and crying? Where Jowulu?
Yeah, Jowulu Valley.
Valley.
Valley. And not just a value.
Deep Valley.
Wulu.
Deep Valley. Because it's showing in our bar or whatever.
That's it.
Yeah, Deep Valley.
Basically, geographically, Accra is supposed to be a calabash.
A well, yeah, of sorts, yeah.
Yes, the entire Accra Plains, geographically, is supposed to be a well, a receptor. Yes.
Into a more insuta you no mountain cry. Now what's a large? No wako to asase wa ho anese o se meyiru.
So, and basically, you know, sana the natural ecosystem no. That was say ye maybe anka you developing for ecotourism enclave.
I see.
And your capital na ke de be kra. And ke be special ecotourism enclave. Bibia ohobia ubemu say ecosystem no natural ecosystem no persist.
Coach na buri na o shepa.
Yes.
Every power.
Na who say te sekura.
Exactly.
A receptor. It is
na so jina pedoasi and ebri na hwen kran.
Yes.
You see it as a
Jowulu defines Accra as it is. Enti ne yaka say sensuo no towo ridge hono kan ho bi wa and ke disastrous. We shouldn't be too comfortable. We mentioned a earthquake zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that region, befa a Bree Mountain so. Eba we see former on the right side. Oyare Febano. Right side, them. Femua befa moha. Kosi there a new Bank of Ghana building. Wow. The Chemu wa Kosi Makati here. The belt is there. And when my office was permitting the new Bank of Ghana, no, now Omu proposed about I'm saying 22 or 23
floors
stories. But technically, a review, you know, now we can't give them permit for more than 19.
I see.
Now, no switching. As I say, you insist to say earthquake resistant materials and no issue.
I see.
And we make sure. Earthquake resistant materials.
Interesting.
And the information is there, the data is there. But for strange reasons, your policy attended to kakra ebedi greediness and near politics yan twaba maun yenye say yenye usentino near bueni egu near bibli so and you do baby.
Interesting conversations here. The central region also got flooded. More than 10 people died.
Wow.
If Accra is a lowland area, how about central region? The Accra flood issue greatly has to do with international political will to end it. Master Planner Junior, Ewo Kintampo. Chairman General, sometimes we need to be mindful of what we say when we are not in power. Otherwise, we'll only keep repeating the same cycle of blame whenever the tables turn. Oblite coming. Ako, any other comments?
Okay, me da same say obi be say question me say.
Kwame we are me dey count.
Me am about so.
Say
say and the kokofu the judgment ye jama no. Enti any na we say
obule ye. Obule ye.
Seven days I come politics.
Oda politics. Na nya na dey chance wo fa.
Oh that.
When you say also Rollins said did to you your friend is saying your friend is saying
okay Ashanti
Mills
make
Ashanti
obi na mu wiem
make Ashanti wiem dem anko chama gina na ka say
and fine say chairman
former president
J Kufuor so very make I
where did me free.
In fact,
the
Nkrofo Sunday about the statement of NDC when we were in opposition and Adiano. It was not a statement based on a rainfall. It was a statement that akosomo yebie a nipa ewu na dying eso akata and yeka said this is not an engineering problem.
Hey,
because meba akosomo eye mano ye nyina ye hui ye nim se akosobo no ye bie no timeously se ne be ya nsuo no be sen akọ kakra but because we wanted to save the wanted to save water to turn the turbines in akosombo ye tena asia mani over ye and one day ye bie ye I say the ebesibia NC, and that was what we were complaining about. Maybe and also so no bra Kwame.
Where we are.
They be come you know I can't 2 points.
Me patch say where we are no. But I know exactly the issue but me say what person be there to aso. I am not refuse me metia minim bebre.
And I go review.
So where's our small view? Where's our small view? That's time no best man.
I go to Aso. Yes sir.
You see one key thing. Yes ye nyina no as say ye ni ehwe ho. Ye mfa ye ni enhwe ho. The strengthening of the assembly system. Bra Kwame.
Papa.
A lot of these organizations like NADMO, EPA, a friend is saying sanitation and waste and all those organizations, omo representations, and assemblies, you know. Yet we see some of these things happening. Let me show you some few things. And me, my experience with assembly system, you know, it is one of my foundations when it comes to politics. Okay. And I don't joke with assembly system. Until say President Kufuor ebeba bem. Na 1/3 because the composition of the assemblies, you know, 70% elected, 30% appointed. Na sa appointment, you know, in the wisdom of the framers of the Act 462. Niena almost say because me as assembly member, I may not be a professional. Say Honorable Kokufu and ye to Abamana, yan to Abamana say oh ye professional, ni popularity and all that. That 30%, you know, was reserved. So the security committee of the assembly, a police for fire service, prisons, and not there, and ye electi warnum. And as you select your ediko, President Kufuor eba you know, and that 1/3 appointment you know, started say a partisan. Rawlings time it didn't happen. Professor Mills eba you know, and NDC yet was in that same selections as politicians, constituency executives near Diomo Echo. I know many people will not be happy with what I'm saying, but say Penokrana. This is the way to go. We must go back to those days. Near the professionals, you know, and a better 1/3. A friend is saying district assembly selection. You know. When it comes to data, say we don't see it as party biaba into the MC and I say the DC and I say MMDCs. Let me put it that way. And I take a decision. The next thing to and I say. As I say, ya so echo the election of our chief executives. when we become very bold and do that, say see the brigadier Okanyeboa eba beye oba beye a national thing. Your penny Jakumu Assembia na ayotaka or say eba ni sena wa odan wo kwan ho no eni ebu nentam ye budru baby a ye jai wa odan we chire no wa fa ho adi ena de njo so do kro kwakoto asase a opede we interior na enuru ne ho
because ne baby a eduru no because human face
na oto na asase ni wie na oba EPA no say opese o develop asase na ye hwe ma no say ye baby papa ne na mso penwa ya de na ehfa na wo to okeka ne che say e follow on under Ahmad Saman jurisdiction. Intimate directing to Ahmad Saman. And I'm catcher Ahmad Saman direct and said, Openi Diba, Oba, near a Sefatibia, Monfeman, and ya Moncancheno, a ya Moncancheno, or your mamba papa, na Udim Rasu. That's the end of the story.
And you see, Omwa Omutusa and Amon Wesono, Senya say, a prof so a year obia unim. Media people now they are also and there are thousands of people who want to use this channel. Omuboka a chain one more and Kashiba be and trust stop work no bibi ediamom. Those who want to use lawful channels struggle in this country. And that is another defect of people trying to do the wrong thing. Yes, will be a person but sometimes the frustration will become and then you better start. Baby and I penalty no and no what was now they call. Intino yenfa yeni and to both sides MPP NDC CPP PNC yenhwe my main fa your friend is saying if for cry and count the base for cry and count so yen form so count yen na yenka ya dwuni mu
the base
meba what for me pacho yen form nyina nka ho ne yenwe ne ho say let's all think about elections of we will give them some power to act. Our politician be to me in phone will baby and through be say idea we won't me enye into no because the best say a party baby then we'll be able to get the course that we want to get to. Finally, Kwame, waste is money. In fact, in Suene Tona, me share in Mura egu in Sueni ekwako sepo. Say may say, how can we channel these things to money? Our waste management system. Obia yebefa bola ewu fie bia anase yeba ofie na se yemfa ofie bola. You must prove to the assembly where you dump. And no the penalty system no ebeba. Say yes, every house we must make sure say there's somebody, a contractor ope or babe sisa wo bola either weekly or bi-weekly. These are some of the things ebema yetumi solve these things of choking the system and all that.
Interestingly,
you see, your friend is saying engineered dumping site and at the end a friend is saying Papa Oye Zoom Lion has done a lot of work in that area. Even almost waste in a crown. We're creating they be above. There's a name for it. I've forgotten.
It's a landfill
transit
site,
point.
Okay.
You don't need to travel to Tema. You don't need to travel to Botima. Ne we no ewo but sika esiso mutria ebe dampi on. They are scared of it because even now krana that according to them they are not making profit. Yes, you be a dampi 80 cedis. And that is becoming a problem. But no crane say, if we don't tackle this and ensure, say a fee be a bit you the rightful amount, we may think that we are doing something in waste management, but in fact, we are not doing anything. And it's about time, so and yawo and Crawford Bibria, Bagana, so say, waste to energy.
Yeah.
But the kind of waste that we produce, we cannot use it for energy.
Why not?
Because we are not separating our waste.
Okay. That's the way it can be done.
It can be done. But a no comes with an additional cost that we must begin to psych our minds on. Say, your beans, colored beans, the yedi everyday waste egum the yedi plastics egum and na the yedi your friend is saying waste that can be recycled so egum. When we begin to teach our children this, we start investing. Say every house sa bola baako pena yedi besi yenim a yedi bola be a bottle cans bibia egum no. In this day and age, it is no more acceptable. It means we will have to pay extra for waste separation and waste management. If we do that initial investment, the long-term effect, and say, after wo bola no, se bola ka neba onu neba bitu ya waka, because oba besisa cans ediako owea nwa mauska or besisa bottles ako crash oba besisa onu mum neba be mauska. But the initial decision say yeah kon say no, that is where we must start educating ourselves to it. Mami fa kwan we so na minchia Professor George Wiafe say retired oceanologist, marine scientist and earth observation.
That's Samity.
Legon.
Uncle from my being what's any about could be we free Professor Tame you call Law of the Sea
Unclose.
Yeah, on is it Mensa? Unfortunately, he's passed on into glory.
Yes.
And
if Prof, like a year now, of a kukufu eka about if we don't take and do some things about your coastal lines, and what is going to happen in 50 years and all those. And he has said the same thing. He has done a lot of lectures. And how we need to protect them now.
Professor Dane?
Professor George Wiafe.
George Wiafe.
Yeah. No, Legon. Oceanology department, but I'm saying retirement. I'm not too sure.
OBC, fan. Only some of these people don't want to be involved in public discourse.
Yes, basket.
Almost make I say time of floods he buy. Kwesi Pratt. Emma mi opinion be me refiniding. Emi apa. Oma mi opinion be ding. Why survey be. I research on about on how to prevent the floods. Why research from about the 1950s all the way. Your friend, June 3rd, 2015. Your panicho bia. Your panicho bia 11 years ago. Your panicho bia. Or say research now your pa. You beat me a cocaine. Yes, you may pen interview be now. Then you fee. May pen interview be even if it's for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Or so Debbie, he doesn't want to speak. Into eventually, Nekasaya off air. No, you know, guy. I see you now. We about Becca say, Obi being and Wakusi form. I can somewhere fata. Into no otie discourse that also I will radio Sonia dia. Ayana ompe into a pie chopper. Okay. Chairman General, the flooding should be tackled with all seriousness and not lip service, like in the case of the floods task force, Akwitio, formed by the President Mahama about a year ago with no action. Meanwhile, the Honorable Finance Minister to forcing a sitting on guide money, but we are people who are supposedly academics and intellectuals, making mockery of academic knowledge without recourse to verifiable data. Meanwhile, lives have been lost, livelihoods destroyed because of the floods. But the propaganda-filled minds are jumping around, acting like pigs in the animal farm, blaming every mishap on Mr. Jones. By the way, good morning to you and all your listeners and your panelists, and welcome back from the Gold Drought Black Stars World Cup. Sampine. That means Sampine. Chairman General, good morning, and to your panelists. I can bet my last coin that at least two of your panelists have a building on an environmentally challenged area. I still insist that NADMO should be made a unit of the Ghana Armed Forces. Ni in Bachuna.
NADMO is under the interior.
But see, it should be made a unit of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Okay.
Now, Prof, me who videos my stress I hear. Tell my Prof here environmentalist, you know, all the aso no dollar.
Okay. When go now?
I am on sending mama na go
Hey, but prof, aso can see power.
Environmental engineering.
I swear.
Environmental engineering.
So you are diverting the course of the water.
Straight away.
And free would die.
No. Dabi. You see, he was not diverting the course of the water. He was rather
access
or manage the access, the right access.
Okay.
Say access in no course has been blocked.
And then I know.
And no clear pathway no.
Into man no kind of echo. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Environmental engineer.
Imagine certificate. No.
Here's an interesting one. I am no expert, but I think the attribution of our flooding to indiscipline is misdiagnosis of the problem. Okay. For me, it's got to do more with absolute lack of special planning and its rigid enforcement. And most importantly, government active participation in the housing market through the provision of mass housing. Kwame, we travel a lot. Where in the civilized world do we find housing and special planning development left in the hands of individuals? This to me is the core of the problem, not only to flooding, but also waste collection, land guardism, and environmental degradation. Michael Kweko for Asante, NPP Amasaman constituency chairman. Okay. No ebaye.
Wow.
Obviously send me pros videos. I'll send it to you.
Video no meton. Is it intellectual property?
I say
intellectual
property, right?
Now listen to the interesting one about Professor Safoso. I tried once to separate my plastics from other trash. After thousands of plastic bottles, I tried to get rid of it. I called several places supposedly doing recycling. I couldn't get anyone to pick it up. They either wanted me to bring it to them or pay them to pick up. I eventually threw them away as regular trash. We are simply not a serious country.
Sure, that's true.
Until Sewa in Jolu and I didn't buy because our plastics are the say a dear uncle ye ni ya enka ebe boa.
But Kwame,
Papa,
you see, Prof, I'm say you be congratulating us. Say we keep you this in my house. We don't drop rubber in a bin.
Right.
Okay.
And your mommy phobia. Omo best sana himrache. You know, almost saw himrache picking rubbers on the streets and all those things. We engage the fewer every morning. Ombana de apaki wa hono na omofako. Into throwing it back to the bin. No, it will be, excuse me to say, to be defeatist. Said, oh yeah, like you've given up.
Right.
But if you engage some of these women, omo peke rabbits and also so.
But until Sawadi also the future by our friend from Nubiambe.
Until America say, and no, let's engage some of these women who do this picking. Omo days and they know it because be our very busy own to me.
Obey me as small be a babaji.
And to omo picking also me rabbits be hand to omba naka saba.
Okay, that's interesting. Kokofu Pepe Makako or say addressing the sanitation and flooding concerns in Ghana. The role of water, sanitation and hygiene WASH initiatives in urban flood resilience. Presented by Honorable Dr. Henry Kwabna Kokofu Esquire. Now this one says the knowledgeable person Kwesie J. Ewojowulu or say the knowledgeable person you refer to would not speak out in a country where hooligans can go onto the radio, where people can threaten to rape a chief justice, where people will be pampered by their political leaders. There are some okay. Maminjani haya.
Also pampane kakrama.
Ofa kwese je mejai. Because and same me be
pampane kakrama.
There be Michael Kweko for Ashanti, you say I'm not contesting again. I've done 2 terms. It is enough. MPP Amasaman constituency chairman. Oh, I see Unkobium. What then come in? Wow. Anyway, Matuas, you've done your bit. Prof.
Kwame.
Yankoso.
Any other me and Sembi and Pesa.
Any bonito.
Kwame, there is a paradox. The paradox is just say, Makasa Ghana is a policy farm. Policies there. In fact, I see, you know, my shedder pass. I say, Kukufu, Adi, coffee policies are home Kwame. In fact, I came across the first, it was around 1898 in Accra. Flooding policy. It's a document be back out. In fact, the first flooding in Accra was around 1935. 90 years down the line, Kwame, we still have a problem. So, conservative who do I say, Accra, on the way. Kwame, you are reaching over a little close about $1 billion. Still, now, the ambitious man say, Kwame, Mama share other countries around the world, Kwame, very harsh environment. Now, so, ekura, in 2016, Majuma me Kwame Japan, Meko Tokyo, Meko Yokohama. Now, Comfort Hotel, I was on the 77th floor. So, now, why prompt from the defense reception said there will be an earthquake in the midst of some rainfalls near the end, you know. Now, on my building, a done such that a bit me always stand the earthquake. Now, on my design, down say, as I said, was on the down, I just know. And he say, who say, we teach the hands with your question. Kwame, I said, Miti bed, Miti wa, now I just a kakra. They are living in a very harsh environment, Kwame. Kwame, a country like Netherlands, in fact, they live below sea level.
Yeah.
But look at the way Kwame Omo Amaneji Omo Singapore.
Yeah.
Tropical water scarce and once flood prone island.
Yeah.
How are they managing themselves? London, the Thames, you can say barrier. Kwame, Venice. And there are places on earth and Crofatina Kwame, where you're quite harsh, but they seem to have tamed and controlled stuff. I don't just say, in fact, flooding still occurs in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I can't say we earthquakes still okay. Yeah. But Kwame, Oman managing is such that damage is never done, at least a bit me attention. First and foremost, and that's the paradox I make once. Now, your policy, the biggest challenge in this country is implementation. Say, Bane, Nimdia, Abjine, Nyansa, Ntotwe. Kwame, I'm telling you, I can tell you, say, in Africa, we are second to none.
Bro, fuck us here.
Ya ben pa. And why are we still battling with this? You know, the danger is Kwame. The estimate they say for since 1935, no, any buy about 3,000. And now in Sweden, from Ghana, Ewa Mika Accra.
3,000.
Yes. Now the question is, yeah, cost me sending Ako Ekano. I didn't know Eko. Unfortunately, Yehunu Anamutuya and measure up with the increasing volatility. Say, Yeko Nimuno and near Messa. And today we do an amonswa a bit commensurate with near Massana Ebano. We are not doing that. Kwame, say, I am a Baha Metaka kind text me.
Yeah.
Genesis chapter 2.
Okay.
Verse 15.
Thank you.
To 17.
Ako, you're a Christian.
Now, such that,
Ako, a good boy. But a small spiritual
Kwame.
Okay, small spiritual
10 to 14 now. I say, when you go on a garden be.
Yeah.
Now the garden baby, I know one important one. A friend important say eating. Garden, you didn't hear the garden, but you didn't hear garden. but ɛwɔ Eden yɛ baabi a garden yɛ situated no na ɔse onyame bɔ nsuo bi a edu garden mu a Kwame na pie 4 heads. First head no Pishon, second head no Gihon, third head no Hidekel, fourth head no Euphrates. I say a pie sound 4 into garden ketwa bia nyame abama Adam na yele no. Kwame ensua 9 and the foul. Now Kwame we dey twamfonyi say ofie wote. Me say ha no me domestic let me domesticalize the garden say baby Adam thing. But say ofie and then you are a pie 9 about few. Is there no possibility of flooding?
Yeah, of course.
There could be. And to come the verse 15 they say, I said then the Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to tend and keep it.
Other version says to dress and keep it.
And keep it.
Yeah. To take dominion.
To take dominion. Prophet
Bonito. Media.
To turn and
tend to keep it.
Now come here. Sa samona odeka tend wo hona. Come an address na a very interesting Hebrew word. And the word abad. Now sa abad no come as just said to work it. As it just said to labor. And to come keeping the environment clean no. And you're going to sleep. And you're juma and you're laboring. Hey.
Yes.
It means to cultivate, it also means to serve. Until we serve our environment. That's the word abad. You serve it. Environmental service. You serve it, baby. And you feel and then you stagnate to home. Where did you let me hear report me? Accra generate over 4,000 tons of solid waste.
Yeah, every day.
Every day.
What
is wrong with us?
Oh, no, yeah, here for any your ball also. Tell General, the Prof. Akasis, you know what it means. It means, say, when you go on board with Nipano, or didn't bury us. One can't change or may a doctor.
Can you?
One can engineer.
Also, environmentalist.
I'll be environmental scientist, natural resource. The fundamental occupation on Yamidi Manipa.
No.
The Branabe manage natural resources. Manage it. It is a more journalists in the more professors in one when you know. Mimi profession. And
but first assignment
it can be this and say, o professional, o ye no, and a journalist, my platform. I hear not and professor now researcher. It can't hear that. I see me.
But the word keep it no sama. Sama no say guard. It means watch. It means protect. It means keep charge. Wo bit ni fie Kwame. Wo mo homai. Wo mfa dan na chi. Wo head ye esi wo ho. Afua ma wondo ho. Odo anu eja push me say we asumesi de. Kwame. Ofu e kan ni ma miensa. Ose de e ha yen. E wo environment no ba kon e leadership. Ba kon e attitude. Ba kon e engineering. And now later yes say enforcement which is still under leadership. That's not Messi Akam. A banning policies. Na entrance and no tea shisha near Madia. Kwame. Hey,
and the meetings.
What and open about Aka, yan cross tea no, yan fa command to her, yan fa semicolon. Yeah, very good. Implementation is the problem. na eno no problem under implementation baako Kwame, this sense of official lawlessness ono no ekure tumi no na wabu tumi no so na wa use to serve his own interest na wa ko baabi ena na Sam Kwame nso video bi a osofo bi a say oboa current aban
the Nigeria to that prof to that
baby you didn't nipa echo what you want kotena baby eye water course
we see Nigeria 32 are na unim kwandi
say
ya but this time man can use ewaji yankwa so for the anka ko twa nantwie se
na say wetwa
David na nantwie nti osi omwe
Kwame wetwa wose wetwa na wotwa enyama ne kwano
yeah dempo if you go nantwie ni ama kwana sit down water way
exactly onipa kwana ye di agono enye ono nkwampo te say ye kan mpanyimfu bi wo wa babia enkran wo no Kwame o he ye wetlands anke no retain ensuo no bi na aboa ma na amubu anko na ya tonton nyina ma men kan de Kwame part bi a wo kan prof asem no otin ba bi o okay o say Kwame to you
yes
citing research findings he indicated that 92 to 95% ohanche mu adunu mienu ekosi sorry adukron mienu ekosi adukron enum percent of some hilly landscapes in Accra were unsuitable for residential development. Okay, say where? Just say yes, 92 to 95% of certain areas in Accra are unsuitable, and so you see, also yet construction continues in such areas.
Well,
so
we
the
are.
question is, when you make any garden, nama yefa Accra, ne Ghana say garden. Yenu no, ono ne wi man. Ena ye garden, ono no na ye man. Ye jumo de man ya ne say, dress it and keep it. Yen ye na wa afa. Na ne ye de mu ne we.
Prof Mapon.
Answer na me sorry. I'm Ashanti politics. So we preaching here, or so we preaching. That would see yen. Na sa won fa Yesu se okra kwa emre yi no SCGC here 40 days of power
Chairman General
announcement
okay your announcement
yeah 40 days of power
everybody check for your website
any ICGC church be a ben
okay
you can join them every evening for prayers and you
ICGC 40 days
ube to me ajoy any here
Dr. Otabe
pacho
why are you so what me aje krawe come Ashanti politics.
Oh, the member Ashanti politics 1 minute. Answer no. Debi answer no. Koji Ashanti.
Wo na akofa ba say me kwa Ashanti regional.
Meba, Koji Ashanti say me ndase man nti abotre meba. Ai. Enti yenua osofo Koji Ashanti ne na busua. Se ye fanda se kese mamu nyina mbeja mom titu fiada memeneda na enu akwasiada ye ba ye mame ye yire ye honkafo ye nuaba Reverend Mrs. Elsie Asante Ajeman ye pe baby pa emaneda na Brown Akwe ene chum ebusua Brown Akwe ene chum ebusua nyina chum na ebusua se ye fanda se kese mamu nyina nya obia na betimi aboni din na emom nipa betimi abodin ye de nase Emma Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ye de nase Emma Apostle Chief Adai and a Word Palace International for nyina ye de nase Emma Apostle Professor Opoku Onyina na emre twem enche bia no Church of Pentecost Dream Training ye de nase Emma Reverend Dr. Wengam General Superintendent Assemblies of God Church in Nasia Kesia Koma Revival and Perfect Love Assemblies of God Church Leadership ewa awoshi kaswati trum Ambassador Papti ya yenua penyini yenua bema Ambassador Papti ye de Nasia Ma Communications Directorate or Ministry of Finance Atomic Police Command police phone now atomic police command that's the Roman papa IGP Christian Tete Yohono and yenua penny yewofa COP nana nketia frimpong police headquarters yedamunina ase infantsman old girls 97 I am Moga 97 yedamase akraka bleo 96 fonina yedamase Dr. Say Kwame Dr. Nestofori Sapon ebusuafo nyina wo despite media yesi ndase mamunyina yede ndase kese esoma Dean Events and Franco Estates Annex C Residence. Dean Events and Franco Estates Annex C Residence. You see, Mamunina, Yadamunina, say, why into me, Mumudina, Mobai, Moboa, can be a some Yadamunina, I say. Coco for your Ashanti region.
Yes, Chavajan, I'm in Chias from Kufri, Ashanti region, Abril. Mebana, Utu for set to Abebil. Also, the Nano to Mubi, say, on I show one qua, I wore flooding. Oma onyina de ye na abusian so a ahwrade nso oma wonko se somebody kan ka say Dr. Mahmoud Baumi akọ ho hwe no aka say my emfa nye politics ne hwe say ye be ye no boko na oma ni nyina be tena se adwene ntina mba ye menye politics no ba ye ma bomodena se memfa
Kokofu 1 minute na yaso
regional chairmanship no obi bia se menye awie na aka wo endorsement
me
and I'm so to find no beba
me endorsement
na mama pass dama minianum colleagues former MPs honorable Elizabeth Ajiman na sabra me parliament on na caucus Ashanti region honorable Kofi Frimpong honorable Kofi Juma a whole lot me cry pem once and mabubodini because me time in susa until all former members of parliament omutachire say a bread say enya parliamentary experience na obeboa na obi a parliamentary experience na obeboa our region no afi former DCs and MCs so nyina true on support amame say omunim se ma ye bi pen na metimi aye enti enuanom ne adofo a onya na maka kire
ka kufu say me the empire na meba ma
prof now na my imagine hakra empire ne haya sam ako so far ya campaign very decent campaign ti maka kire o ma edi machi na um support me nyina say unia no ukọ program bi na one kamema sem na akoka bibi different bi a yenyu free program no so nti eno so ye adwuma papa nti me hu nsem bebre from ne amaye pen de miguso ameye ene ne amaye mani so ade hunu nti ni nyina wo ho na eye bibi tietia esese de new patriotic party back to life your flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Baumia esese ehwese obewe ni the next elections your parliamentary candidates are ebe feel they won esese omutime winning seats no MIA na ni nyina mu ni betimi aya
na I say Kokofu Ashanti regional chairman of MPP
sa pepe
okay ye nyina ye fo aso
na endorsement me endorsement
wo de beba wo de beba wo de any necessary evil
Kokofu was it necessary
Dr. Tabe Adaroma whole prophet with me.
Nah,
yes, that's papa. Yes, and now we see no. They need Yenumbi to be with near Yakikabum so. Now no me catch him says so kwabontin we ababunu ana branti okwabontin na ye obi kwhwe ofremfram a he na hwan akobara made ukokache pani ofie nyaza ana afi nso yesusa na edi agro no ukọ kanto kwa okurufrum ne yehwe a unti metena bantema nsu ha no atena ho no osu
no ru ani ma babantema